Typhoon Merbok brought in sustained winds of 70 plus miles an hour on the early evening of the 17th of September. Storm had kind of subsided a little bit. We still had winds about 40 miles an hour or so when all of a sudden somebody came running and said the Bering Sea's on fire. Well, within probably a minute, all of a sudden flames were coming out the front. We are in trouble now.
It seemed like all hell broke loose, and seeing that we had a fire and we had people inside, we decided early on into the fire that we were going to need some heavy equipment. But I was more concerned about wind blowing from the south, and all the embers and smoke were going towards City Hall and across the street.
With the wind blowing and just the amount of fuel load that the building itself had, it was a very hot fire, and if the wind would have been just a little bit out of the southeast instead of straight out of the south, there would have been a good chance that the Nome Nugget we would have lost that also.
We were able to contain it, no major injuries, which is a good thing. They were able to escape out the back fire escape. We brought in an excavator, thankfully from Bering Straits Native Corporation. We kind of folded the building on itself, and it had a basement, so everything went down into it, and we were able to contain it.
There was extensive smoke that came along with this, and black smoke, and it was, you could smell it, and it actually was emanating out in Icy View, a subdivision about 1.5 miles. Originally, we had moved some people that were in the building. We had put them in City Hall, which was right across the way. Well, pretty soon we had to vacate them from that because that building was full of smoke. Some of the flames had got over to the adjoining building and did damage a small section of it, but it certainly could have been a much worse incident if it hadn't been for the immediate and quick response and the professionalism of our volunteers.
Knowing that you have a dedicated group of volunteers that will step up and provide assistance is one of the great things about living out here in Western Alaska.
We had 2 retired chiefs come out. We had line crew coming down, cutting down wires. We utilized dang near everybody in town to battle this blaze. So I think it is the community itself that's the hero.